My name is John Anderson, and I am widely recognized as one of the wealthiest and most influential men in the city. My journey to this point has not been easy. I built my empire with a lot of hard work, facing sleepless nights, countless meetings, and relentless challenges that life threw at me. Every penny I own is the result of years of dedication, innovation, and a vision that many deemed impossible. My daughter, Emily, was born into a world of abundance and comfort. From an early age, she had access to the best schools, international trips, and everything money could buy. However, despite all this luxury, I always made sure to teach her that true happiness cannot be bought. Emily has always been the center of my world, my most precious treasure. I remember her first steps on the soft carpet of our living room, her laughter echoing through the house, filling every corner with a light that no valuable diamond could match. As Emily grew, I watched her with a mix of pride and concern. She was becoming an intelligent, charismatic woman with a pure heart. But as much as I could provide a life of comforts and privileges, there was something my money could not guarantee: true love. A love that does not bow to the power of money. This was the deepest desire of my heart, to see my daughter find someone who would love her for who she is, and not for what I possess. Every night, when silence settled in our home, I reflected on the life I wanted for Emily. I knew that my power and wealth were not enough to guarantee her full happiness. My greatest dream was for her to find someone with an honest heart, someone who could share her days with her, not out of interest, but out of genuine love. I wanted her to have the freedom to love without the golden chains of our fortune, and for her heart to find the path to a happiness that money cannot buy. It was a sunny spring afternoon when Emily met Michael. The air was filled with the fragrance of flowers, and the sun was shining brightly, creating a charming contrast with the deep blue of the sky. Emily, with her innate curiosity and taste for new experiences, decided to explore the neighborhood beyond the usual limits. It was then that, walking carelessly, she stumbled upon a small coffee shop on the corner, a modest but welcoming place that she had never noticed before. Upon entering, she was greeted by the comforting aroma of fresh coffee and the gentle sound of ambient music, bringing an atmosphere of peace and tranquility. Behind the counter was Michael, a young man of simple appearance but with a captivating energy. He was wearing a blue apron and was busy serving a customer, but his smile was something that immediately caught Emily's attention. It was a sincere smile that radiated genuine joy and was contagious to everyone around. Michael had a relaxed demeanor, and his eyes shone with a mix of enthusiasm and kindness. He seemed to be the type of person who saw the world with optimism, even in the face of difficulties. When he noticed Emily waiting to place her order, his smile widened even more, and he greeted her with a warm, "Good morning." That was enough to capture Emily's interest. She approached the counter and ordered a coffee, trying not to show how enchanted she was by the simplicity and authenticity of this young man. As the days passed, Emily found herself returning to that coffee shop more often than she usually would. Initially, she justified to herself that it was the excellent coffee or the pleasant atmosphere that attracted her back. But deep down, she knew it was Michael who kept her interested. He always had a kind word, a joke, or a comment that made Emily feel comfortable and appreciated. Michael, in turn, also began to notice Emily's increasing visits. He watched her with a curious and admiring look, noting how she seemed different from the other customers. While most were always in a hurry, preoccupied with their own problems, Emily was always present, listening and participating in Michael's conversations, laughing at his stories, and showing genuine interest in his life. Thus, in that simple and welcoming environment, a special connection began to form between them. Emily was drawn to Michael's genuine character, the way he treated everyone with respect and care, expecting nothing in return. The way he approached life with a contagious lightness and joy, despite the financial hardships he faced, touched Emily's heart in a way she had never experienced before. With each visit, Emily discovered more about Michael and felt increasingly close to him. And, little by little, without them realizing it, something very special was starting to blossom between the two of them. Something that was not based on appearances or wealth, but on deep and true feelings. Emily and Michael began to meet more frequently, developing a friendship that quickly evolved into something deeper. It all started with a casual invitation from Michael for a walk in the local park, a place where he often went to relax and reflect. Emily, delighted with the idea of spending time outdoors and away from the usual social commitments, readily accepted. That afternoon, the sun shone gently, and a cool breeze swayed the leaves of the trees. Michael was visibly nervous, but his smile and the sparkle in his eyes showed the happiness of being there with Emily. They walked through the park, talking about everything and nothing at the same time. Michael spoke enthusiastically about his passion for coffee and his dream of one day expanding the small coffee shop into something bigger, while Emily shared her own dreams of finding a purpose that went beyond the luxury and wealth in which she grew up. They laughed together at simple jokes and funny stories from their lives. Michael recounted his adventures trying to fix things in the coffee shop and the small mishaps that always seemed to occur when he was in charge. Emily, in turn, talked about her childhood surrounded by riches, but also about the loneliness she often felt, even in the midst of so many possessions. After walking for a while, they decided to sit on a bench by a lake. The sun was beginning to set, painting the sky with orange and pink hues, creating a perfect setting for what would become one of the most significant moments in both their lives. Michael, with a serious look, turned to Emily and said, "Emily, I know I'm just a simple barista and can't offer you the luxurious life you're used to, but I promise I'll do everything I can to make you happy." Emily felt a wave of emotion wash over her. She had never heard such sincere words from someone who wasn't interested in her fortune or social status. She knew Michael was different, and that touched her deeply. With a loving smile, she replied, "Michael, what matters to me is the sincerity and care you show. I've never felt as happy as I am now, here with you." From that day on, the meetings between Emily and Michael became a cherished and expected routine. They explored the hidden corners of the city together, visited art exhibitions, had picnics in quiet parks, and occasionally enjoyed long conversations at Michael's coffee shop. Each encounter strengthened the bond between them, revealing a depth of feelings that neither had ever experienced before. For Emily, these moments with Michael were an escape from the superficial world that surrounded her. She felt free to be herself, without the masks and pretensions that were often necessary in the society in which she lived. Michael, on the other hand, was amazed by Emily's simplicity and authenticity, discovering in her a kind and loving soul, very different from the image he had of wealthy people. As a father, I watched everything from a distance, and for the first time in years, I saw my daughter truly happy. Her smile was brighter, and her eyes, once tired and disillusioned, now gleamed with new hope and joy. The true love that was blossoming between Emily and Michael awakened in me a deep desire to see where this relationship could lead her. I wanted to believe that, finally, my daughter had found the happiness I had always wished for her, something that money could never buy. When Emily finally had the courage to tell me about her love for Michael, we were sitting in the living room of our house, a place that, despite all its luxury, had always felt cold and distant. She was nervous, and I could see the tension in her eyes as she began to talk about Michael, the humble young man who had won her heart. I listened to her attentively, feeling a mix of joy for her happiness and concern for the uncertain future this love could bring. Emily spoke passionately about how Michael was different from all the other men she had known. He didn't care about her status or her wealth. What he loved was her essence, who she really was. Her eyes sparkled as she described how she felt by his side. Safe, loved, and free to be herself. She told me how he made her laugh, how they shared dreams and hopes, and how, for the first time in her life, she felt complete. When Emily finished, there was a significant pause between us. I knew that my response could change her life forever. It wasn't an easy decision for me. I was a businessman, used to dealing with numbers, profits, and losses, and the idea of my daughter marrying someone who had nothing but a pure heart and big dreams was something that many would consider a bad choice. The following days were filled with comments and sarcastic laughs from my business colleagues. In meetings and social events, they never missed an opportunity to remind me of the mistake I was about to make. "How can you, a millionaire, allow your daughter to marry a poor man?" they asked, with a barely disguised tone of contempt. For them, it was inconceivable that someone in my position could support a relationship with someone who didn't belong to the same circle of wealth and power. These comments deeply irritated me, but they also made me reflect on what really mattered in life. I remembered my own journey, how I started from scratch and fought for every achievement. I realized that, deep down, Michael and I were not so different. Both of us had dreams and the courage to pursue them, even in the face of adversity. And above all, I knew that true love was a rare gift, something that could not be bought or forced. With this conviction, I made the most important decision of my life as a father. I looked at Emily, with all the confidence and love that a father can have, and told her that I would support her relationship with Michael. I said that, even knowing that many would criticize and mock me, the most important thing was her happiness. And if Michael made her happy, then he had my support. I decided to support my daughter, not just because I wanted to see her happy, but also because I believe that the true value of a person is not in their bank account, but in their character and ability to love and be loved. I knew that Michael might not have the material wealth that many expected for Emily's husband, but he had something much more valuable, a pure heart and an unwavering determination to make my daughter happy. And so, ignoring the criticism and laughter, I supported Emily's decision. I knew that their journey would not be easy, but I believed that together, with love and perseverance, they could overcome any challenge. Deep down, I was certain that supporting Emily's love for Michael was the best choice I could have made, not just as a father, but as a human being who values what truly matters in life. Emily and Michael's wedding was a ceremony that symbolized the purity of the love they shared. We decided to hold the ceremony in our home's garden, a space that, despite being grand, was transformed into a setting of simplicity and elegance, reflecting the essence of the couple. The flowers were carefully chosen by Emily and Michael, who opted for daisies and sunflowers, flowers that represented the simplicity and joy of their love. On the wedding day, the garden was illuminated by the soft light of the afternoon sun, creating an atmosphere of warmth and welcoming. There was no pomp or luxury that many might expect from a ceremony in our family. Instead, there was modest beauty, with simple white chairs arranged in a semicircle, surrounded by flower arches that emanated a sweet and natural fragrance. Emily was radiant in a simple, yet elegantly designed white dress that reflected her natural beauty. Michael, in a modest but well-fitted suit, awaited her with a smile that overflowed with happiness and love. When Emily entered the garden, the soft music of a violin began to play, filling the air with a melody that seemed to have been composed exclusively for that moment. The ceremony was intimate, with only close family and friends present. Each of them shared a special bond with the couple, and the joy on their faces was a testament to the love surrounding Emily and Michael. There was no luxury or ostentation, only the purity of true and sincere love. Around us, the trees swayed gently in the breeze, and the birds' song seemed a natural blessing for their union. The officiant, a longtime friend of our family, spoke about the value of true love, one that is not measured by money or status, but by the ability to bring joy and purpose to another's life. He highlighted how Emily and Michael had found this kind of love in each other, a love that defied expectations and overcame all the barriers imposed by society. When it was time for the vows, Michael looked at Emily with an intensity that revealed the depth of his feelings. He spoke about how she had brought light and joy to his life, how he was determined to do everything within his power to make her happy, regardless of the challenges they might face. Emily, with tears of happiness in her eyes, promised Michael her unconditional love and support, thanking him for showing her what truly mattered in life. After the ceremony, a simple yet delicious dinner was served under the soft lights hanging between the trees. The guests enjoyed dishes prepared with love and care, in an atmosphere where laughter and conversation flowed freely. Every detail of the reception was planned to reflect the essence of Emily and Michael, simple, authentic, and full of love. As I watched my daughter dance with her new husband under the gentle glow of the garden lights, my heart was filled with pride and joy. I knew that this wedding, devoid of riches and extravagances, was proof that true love needs nothing more than itself to flourish. Emily and Michael had found something that many spend a lifetime searching for: happiness that comes from the heart, a priceless treasure that money could never buy. That day, Everyone present could witness the simple truth that genuine love does not require grand gestures or wealth, but the sincerity of two hearts that meet and connect in a deep and true way. And that was, without a doubt, the greatest wealth any of us could witness. After the wedding, Emily and Michael dived into a reality very different from what Emily had known all her life. The change was abrupt, and challenges came quickly, like a wave breaking abruptly on the shore. They moved into a small apartment, simple and modest, in a neighborhood far from the luxury to which Emily was accustomed. The decor was basic, with furniture bought from thrift stores and items they had restored and personalized themselves. Their married life began to test their resilience from the very first moment. Despite working hard at the coffee shop, Michael did not earn enough to ensure a comfortable standard of living. He left home early, before dawn, and only returned late at night, exhausted, but always with a smile on his face when he saw Emily. She, in turn, had to adapt to a new routine, away from the conveniences and comforts that were once part of her everyday life. Emily decided to look for a job to help with expenses. After several attempts and rejections, she got a job as an assistant at a small flower shop. It was not a glamorous job, but she found joy in the little things. The smell of fresh flowers, the satisfaction of creating arrangements that brought happiness to customers, and the simple pleasure of knowing she was contributing to building a life with Michael. Financial difficulties were constant. There were months when they had to choose between paying the electricity bill or buying groceries. Emily, who had never before had to worry about the cost of anything, now found herself comparing prices at the supermarket and learning to cook simple and nutritious meals with few ingredients. Michael, on the other hand, worked tirelessly to ensure that the essentials were never lacking at home, even if it meant sacrificing his own needs and comforts. Despite the challenges, the love between Emily and Michael only grew. They learned to value each small achievement: a tasty meal prepared together, a quiet night watching movies on the sofa, or simply the joy of being in each other's company after a long day of work. Each obstacle overcome, each sacrifice made for the other's sake, only strengthened their bond. They supported each other, sharing dreams and hopes for the future, never letting the adversities diminish the brightness of their union. On cold nights, they warmed themselves with laughter and stories, reminiscing about happy moments and planning a future where difficulties would be just distant memories. Michael used to joke that one day they would tell their children how the first years of marriage were challenging but also the most precious, as it was during those years that they built a solid foundation of love and companionship. Emily and Michael's relationship was a living testament that true love can overcome any adversity. They learned to find joy in the little things in life and to be content with what they had, not because they were forced to, but because they were together. For them, the value of a simple meal shared was greater than that of a luxurious feast, as it was seasoned with love and gratitude. Each difficulty faced was another step in the journey they were walking together. They had no material riches, but they possessed something much more valuable: the certainty that, no matter the circumstances, they would always have each other. And that certainty was what sustained them in the most difficult moments, turning each challenge into an opportunity to further strengthen their relationship. Thus, with each passing day, Emily and Michael proved to themselves and to the world that true love does not depend on external circumstances. They learned that true wealth lies in the heart, and that, when two people truly love each other, they can overcome any obstacle that life throws their way. My business colleagues never missed an opportunity to mock Emily's decision to marry Michael. During meetings and social events, there was always someone willing to make a sarcastic comment or a tasteless joke about the humble life my daughter now led. It was as if they couldn't accept that someone with our financial status could choose love over an advantageous union. "So, John, how's your daughter? Still living in that cramped little house?" they would ask with malicious laughter. Others would comment, "She'll soon realize the mistake she made. It won't be long before she gets tired of this life of hardship." These words were hard to hear, and each acidic comment seemed like an attempt to discourage me and undermine my decision to support Emily. I knew that many of my colleagues saw my daughter's marriage as a personal failure on my part, an affront to what they believed to be the only formula for happiness: money and power. Their skepticism was evident. They couldn't understand how I, a man who had built an empire, was allowing my daughter to follow such a different path from the one they expected. For them, it was inconceivable that someone could choose to live without the comforts and luxuries that money provides, especially alongside someone like Michael, who had neither wealth nor prestige. I, on the other hand, observed the lives of these colleagues and realized that, despite all the luxury and ostentation, many of them seemed empty and unsatisfied. Their laughter and jokes about Emily's decision were nothing more than an attempt to hide their own frustrations. While they worried about appearances and status, I had the privilege of seeing my daughter truly happy, something their money could never buy. Whenever these comments arose, I reminded myself of the real reasons that led me to support Emily. I knew that money could buy comfort, but it couldn't buy genuine joy or true love. I remembered the conversations with my daughter, the tears of happiness in her eyes, and the pure love she shared with Michael. Every time I saw their happiness together, my conviction that I had made the right decision grew even stronger. I looked at these colleagues and thought about what really mattered. Their lives, surrounded by luxury and conveniences, were often devoid of what truly brings happiness. True love, companionship, and the joy of living each day with someone you deeply love. I realized that true success is not about accumulating wealth, but about finding happiness in the simple things in life. When I met Emily and Michael, I saw a couple who, despite all the difficulties, were building a life full of love, respect, and mutual support. They faced challenges with courage and determination, knowing they had each other to lean on. Emily's bright eyes and Michael's sincere smile were proof that true success in life comes from joy and love, not money or status. So, I decided not to let the laughs and malicious comments get me down. Every time I heard a new joke about Emily's marriage, I responded with a calm smile and said, "Happiness is not measured by the size of the house or the bank account, but by the love and joy we share." These simple and true words often left my colleagues speechless. They couldn't understand that, for me, seeing my daughter happy alongside someone who loved her sincerely was the greatest achievement I could have as a father. And that was something no amount of money in the world could change. Over time, it became clear that Michael was much more than a humble young man with a pure heart. He proved to be a man of vision and determination, someone who was not afraid to dream big and work hard to turn those dreams into reality. At first, he continued to work as a barista at the small coffee shop where it all began. But with Emily's constant support, he began to think of ways to expand the business. Michael and Emily spent long nights discussing ideas and strategies for the coffee shop. They analyzed what could be done to attract more customers and improve the quality of the services offered. Michael's passion for coffee and for creating a welcoming environment was palpable, and Emily, with her natural talent for organization and detail, perfectly complemented Michael's vision. They formed an extraordinary team, with a synergy that overflowed in every aspect of the business. The first step they took was to renovate the interior of the coffee shop. With a tight budget, they invested in comfortable furniture and decor that reflected a welcoming and inviting environment. They painted the walls with warm colors and hung photographs that captured the essence of the local community. Little by little, the space began to attract not only the usual patrons but also new customers, curious to discover the place that exuded so much charm and personality. Michael also started to invest in the quality of the coffee served. He attended workshops and courses to become an excellent barista, learning to select the best beans and to prepare each cup with mastery. The coffee from the coffee shop quickly gained fame for its unparalleled flavor and the dedication with which it was prepared. Customers kept coming back, not just for the coffee, but for the welcoming environment and the attentive service they received. But Michael didn't stop there. Over time, he realized that the coffee shop could be more than just a place to have coffee. He began to organize cultural events, poetry nights, and live music, transforming the space into a community gathering point. Emily, with her talent for organization, took care of all the details, ensuring that each event was a success. These nights became a major attraction, bringing a steady flow of new customers and making the coffee shop a vibrant cultural hub. With the growing popularity, Michael and Emily decided to open a second unit of the coffee shop in a nearby neighborhood. They worked tirelessly to ensure that the new store maintained the same quality and welcoming environment as the original. The opening was a success, attracting a crowd of curious and loyal customers who already knew and appreciated their work. From that moment, Michael's business began to expand rapidly. Each new unit of the coffee shop maintained the essence that Michael and Emily had created. A space where every customer felt special, where the coffee was prepared with love, and where the community gathered to share moments of joy and culture. Michael's dedication to his work and Emily's unwavering support transformed the small coffee shop into a renowned and respected chain in the city. Michael and Emily's success story did not go unnoticed. Soon, the same colleagues who once mocked Emily's decision to marry a poor young man started seeking Michael to learn from his business model. The young man they despised had become a successful entrepreneur, whose coffee shops were known for their quality and positive impact on the community. Michael's humility and work ethic earned him the respect and admiration not only of his customers, but of the entire community. He became an example of how, with passion and dedication, it is possible to achieve great things regardless of initial adversities. And, for me, as a father, it was immensely satisfying to see my daughter by the side of a man who not only loved her deeply, but was also an example of integrity and genuine success. The love and partnership between Michael and Emily were reflected in every aspect of their lives, and their success was proof that when two people unite with a common purpose and true love, they can achieve the unexpected and turn dreams into reality. Over time, Michael and Emily not only achieved business success, but also became highly respected and admired figures throughout the community. The humble coffee shop that Michael initially ran with so much love and dedication evolved into a thriving chain, known for its commitment to quality and its positive impact on people's lives. The transformation began to become evident as the coffee shop chain expanded to various locations in the city and even to neighboring regions. Each new unit maintained the charm and essence that Michael and Emily had cultivated from the beginning. A welcoming space where every customer felt special and part of a big family. The attention to detail, the commitment to product quality, and the inviting atmosphere made the chain a true local icon. Michael's transformation from a humble young barista to a successful entrepreneur was remarkable. He became an inspiration to many, showing that success is possible for those who work with passion and integrity. Michael never let success go to his head. He remained the same humble and generous person, always willing to help others and give back to the community that so supported the growth of his business. Emily, for her part, stood out not only as a dedicated wife, but also as a brilliant business partner. She brought organization, strategic vision, and a special touch to every aspect of the business. Her ability to plan events and manage operations was crucial to the growth of the coffee shop chain. She became a beloved and respected figure, admired for her strength and dedication. With the growth of the coffee shop chain, Michael and Emily began to get involved in various community and charitable initiatives. They sponsored local events, supported social causes, and offered training and employment to young people in the community, giving them the opportunity to grow and prosper, just as Michael had. The coffee shop chain became a symbol of hope and an example of how successful businesses can have a positive impact on society. Meanwhile, the same business colleagues who once laughed at Emily's decision to marry Michael now sought my advice. They wanted to understand how the young man they had once despised managed to turn a simple coffee shop into a thriving and influential chain. They wanted to learn the secret behind Michael's success and perhaps apply something to their own businesses. I saw Michael's transformation with a sense of deep satisfaction. The young man whom many had considered incapable of providing a dignified life for my daughter was now seen as an example of success and integrity. He became a role model for those who believe that a person's true worth is not measured by the wealth they possess, but by their character and ability to work hard to achieve their dreams. Michael, with his humility and work ethic, demonstrated that true success is not just about money or power, but about the ability to make a difference in people's lives and build something with a lasting impact on society. He showed that, with determination and support, it is possible to turn dreams into reality and overcome any challenge. The looks of disdain and laughter from before were replaced by respect and admiration. Those who once doubted Michael now sought his guidance and wanted to learn from his example. And, for me, as a father, it was an immense pride to see how my daughter and her husband not only achieved success, but also earned the respect and love of the entire community. Michael and Emily's transformation was not just a story of business success, but a life lesson about the value of determination, true love, and the importance of never underestimating someone's potential, regardless of their background. They showed that, with courage and mutual support, it is possible to overcome any barrier and achieve extraordinary accomplishments, building a legacy of respect, admiration, and positive impact on society. What began as an unlikely love story between Emily and Michael turned into an incredible journey of success, fulfillment, and positive impact on many people's lives. From the beginning, when Emily chose to follow her heart and marry Michael, facing all the criticism and skepticism, she proved that true love can overcome any obstacle. Together, they built not only a life of happiness, but also a legacy that transcends material wealth and social conventions. Each passing day, Emily and Michael's journey became a living example that true wealth is not measured by money or luxury, but by the quality of relationships and the positive impact one has on the world. They showed that the power of love, dedication, and perseverance can turn dreams into reality, regardless of initial difficulties or social barriers. Looking back, I see that the greatest legacy I left for my daughter was not the financial empire I built, but the freedom to choose true love and live an authentic and fulfilling life. Emily and Michael proved that true happiness is not in material possessions, but in genuine relationships and the ability to share life with someone you deeply love. Their success, both personally and professionally, was built on solid values, mutual respect, and an unwavering commitment to each other's and the community's well-being. Michael, the humble young man whom many considered unsuitable for my daughter, turned out to be a man of exceptional character and an example of integrity. His dedication and vision transformed a small coffee shop into a successful chain. But more than that, he and Emily created a space that promotes connection, joy, and support for the community. They showed that with love and hard work, it is possible to transform any situation and leave a lasting legacy. Emily and Michael's story is a testament that true love is the greatest treasure one can possess. They built a life rich in experiences, joy, and significant contributions to society. Each act of kindness, each challenge overcome, and each moment shared served to strengthen their bond and show the world that true success is achieved when one lives with passion and purpose. As the years passed, Emily and Michael's positive influence grew, and they became beloved and respected figures in the community. They continued to expand their business and help others find opportunities and build better lives. But above all, they remained united, supporting each other and living with the certainty that they had made the right choice by following their hearts. For me, as a father, seeing Emily's happiness and Michael's fulfillment is the greatest reward I could have. Reflecting on what truly matters in life, I realized that the most valuable legacy is not material possessions or grand enterprises, but the love, joy, and peace we leave in the hearts of those we love. Emily and Michael are living proof that when true love is chosen and lived with integrity, it is possible to build a legacy that truly matters. They showed the world that love is the foundation of everything and that, regardless of circumstances, there is always room for growth, happiness, and fulfillment. Seeing my daughter happy alongside a man who loves and respects her deeply, I know that the greatest legacy I leave is the example that true wealth is in the heart and that love is the most precious treasure one can have. Emily and Michael, with their story of love and overcoming, inspired not only me but everyone around them, showing that life is richer and more meaningful when lived with love, purpose, and genuine dedication to the well-being of others. And with this certainty, I conclude this journey, knowing that the legacy of love that my daughter and her husband built will be remembered and celebrated for many years to come.